What's going on, everybody? Welcome to an episode of Viall Files, or asknick. I don't know. I always like to mix it up. Special episode of asknick.
Mixed up.
I've been trying to have some returning guests back to help us with our asknick questions. One of my favorite episodes I've had of Viall Files, Nikki Glaser, is back with us. And she's actually more famous now, so I feel like even more even better
more famous
for the Viall Files.
Yeah,
you're like a really big deal now. You were like a pretty big deal when you came on. It was like a favor to our show.
Yeah,
it was like a new show. Viall Files was new. It was up and coming.
That didn't feel like it to me. Now it feels like a favor, but before, no. It's always been exciting. I am a fan of yours, and now I'm a friend of yours, and so it's good to be here. But yes, I'm much more. It's weird how that happens. How you can just have a pop of fame. I mean, I was here less than a year ago, and it's a lot different now for me.
Netflix special,
big
hit.
Things are good. But you know what? I want to say thank you so much, because every time you mention that I was your favorite episode on an interview or something, people let me know, and it feels really good to hear that. So thank you.
It was one of my favorites.
I hope to beat that episode.
Ooh.
I always want to be better. I don't compare myself to others. That's a lie. But I do compare myself to myself. And
I like that. I do that as well.
Yeah.
And it's one of my biggest strengths is I'm a tough critic, but it also just makes me generally sad.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm never good enough for myself.
Oh, for yourself?
Or others. I mean, I don't.
You think you've already peaked? And is that what you're saying? Like you can't outdo your?
I just don't think I never feel happy about what I'm doing.
Nick.
It's always like, what's the next step?
I know. I see you struggle. With when we were out in the kitchen, you were so worried about getting in here, and it's just like, man, it's gonna happen. And if it doesn't happen, I'll be back in town another time. And guess what? I'll be more famous when I come back in town, because I'm only going up. And then you'll get me, because I bet the next time this rolls around, I'll be way too famous.
I don't doubt that you're on your way up.
But everything works out, Phil.
My fear is it'll be that point where you'll just be like, I'm busy. You know,
you're a part of her act.
I'm on my way down, and you're on your way up.
End up going that way. I might get too busy for this, because I might just be too busy for this, and this doesn't pay, and it's a chunk of my day. But until that happens, I'm glad to be here, and you need to enjoy what you have.
Okay, I'm working on this.
But you seem so chill, though, Nick. You're always just like, yeah, it is what it is.
I'm super chill, like 95% of the time, until I really care about something, and then I get
Yeah. We've seen that side of you on the show.
Really jacked up. I got my parents hooked on Butcher Box for show.
How'd you do it?
Well, I told them about it.
They bought it for themselves?
They did. They're subscribers of the Butcher Box. We like protein in our diet. My favorite dinner growing up, we call it pork chop, spinach, and rice. And it has just that. Now it's cooked in like, you fry bacon, and then
you what?
Fry bacon, cook bacon, but you save the bacon grease, and then you bread the pork chop. And then you brown the pork chop in bacon grease. Don't cook it all the way through. And then you put all of the pork chops in like a deep pan, and then you make the gravy while the pork chops are finishing cooking, so it's really moist.
What gravy?
You put a lot of beef bouillon. It's very salty. And then flour. It's real simple. So you put water.
Yeah.
Fill up that deep frying pan.
Yeah.
And again, the pork chops are only browned on the outside with bacon.
Yeah.
And you keep kind of everything in there. You don't clean it out. And then you put a bunch of water in it. And then you take flour and water to thicken up the gravy, and then put a lot of beef bouillon in.
Yum.
And then you cook that for about an hour while the pork chops get really tender and moist, and then chopped frozen spinach and rice, and it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Anyways, I got it on Butcher Box. I went home for Thanksgiving. We made that not on Thanksgiving, but on the other day I was
Tell
there.
everyone what Butcher Box is.
It is a wonderful box where they send you the highest quality meats directly to your door.
Yep.
Convenient, affordable, and most importantly, of the highest quality. And again, the difference between an amazing dinner and a good dinner, and when you have a protein, is the quality of the meat. And you can have great quality, and you can have not so great quality, and you can taste it in your dinner, and Butcher Box is fantastic. So right now, you can get 2 pounds of ground beef and 2 packs of bacon absolutely free. Absolutely free. It was so unbelievable. I couldn't say it. Plus $20 off your first box. Just go to butcherbox.com/VIALL or use promo code VIALL at checkout. That's butcherbox.com/VIALL or use promo code VIALL at checkout. Musician. Thank God they didn't teach me how to sing. No, they're helping me learn how to play the guitar.
You can learn how to sing. Maybe you should try that one.
Try that too. Well, Musician helps you learn how to play musical instruments. So, yeah.
Do you know that as many as 7 out of 10 adults wish they played a musical instrument?
I'm one of them.
If you're listening, you probably want to too.
Definitely. Everyone, 7 out of 10. Raise your hand while you're listening to this if you wish you knew how to play a musical instrument to woo the person of the opposite sex.
Or to just make your life more well-rounded. It doesn't always have to be about...
Every great musician became great because they were hoping to impress the other sex.
That might be true.
Yeah. And listen, Musician is amazing. They're using technology and the love of music and combining them to help you meet that goal you've always had but never accomplished.
And they make it really fun. It almost feels like you're playing Guitar Hero or like a game.
Yeah, but you're actually learning how to play an instrument.
Yeah, and you don't have to work with someone else's schedule. You don't have to go anywhere. You can just do it from home.
Do it from home.
Yep.
On the comfort from your tablet, your phone.
Yep.
Does it work with a desktop?
Yeah.
Amazing. I use it on my iPad.
Nice.
Yeah, it's amazing. So if you ever have wanted to play a musical instrument, Musician is the perfect app for you. So why wait? Get started right now. If you've been wanting to learn an instrument or simply just want to help someone get back to playing, check out Musician. You can get an extended 14-day trial or their Premium Plus package at musician.com/VIALL. That's unlimited lessons and unlimited songs on as many instruments as you want for 2 whole weeks. Just go to musician.com/VIALL to start your free trial today. That's YOUSICIAN.com/VIALL.
Thank you for the note.
Yeah.
That was great advice because we're going to give great advice today. But Nikki, before we started the show, was talking about this hottie. He slid into your DMs?
Okay,
set us up here.
Here's what happened. So this guy that I was on Instagram one night and I went past a picture on a celebrity who I follow's feed, and she was in a picture with a guy on set. And I go, Jesus Christ, that guy is attractive. Who is that? I've never seen him. Clicked on him, go to his profile. It says one of the options is follow back. He's already following me.
Isn't that nice when you when you stumble across like your internet stalking, you're like, ooh, who is this hottie? Do I consider sliding? And then it turns out like, wait, they've been watching me for God knows how long.
Who I am. I was stoked. So I immediately follow back. And then I'm like just waiting. And I see that he is a fan of a show that I've been on.
Did you do what Nick does where you go to an old photo and like it?
No. I thought about doing that, but I don't make any first moves with guys. None. Oh. Following back is I don't do that shit anymore. It's like, come to me. I can't.
You followed back though. That you did enough.
I followed back. Yes. And he doesn't have that many followers, so I thought he'd notice, And
how many is not many?
I think maybe under 5,000. Okay. So I followed back. Mm-hmm. All right. And then I waited and I'm just like, when is this guy gonna write me? I'm like, he's not posting anything either, so I can't like something new. If he would have posted something new, I would have liked it immediately. But his last post was from like February, and this was in like June or something.
So yeah, I mean that's the thing. He's clearly not active on it. So like just a follow back isn't necessarily going to be like an alert.
Exactly.
But anyways,
so I waited and I waited. And then one night I was like, and it was clear that he followed me because he had heard me on this show that he's a fan of. Because I just knew that's where he found out about me. Like, because sometimes
is this show a secret?
No, but I don't want to give away who this person is.
Gotcha.
So, then one night I was like, God, I was like stalking him from afar. I'm like, all my friends, they all know about him, even though it's nothing. Like, it's literally nothing. And I'm like, I can't believe this guy's look at this guy. He's like the hottest guy I've ever can imagine. So then I go to like see what it would be to write him a DM. You know when you just like open it up to be like, what would it be like? Maybe I'll write him. I think one night I was like bold enough.
What do you mean?
What
would it be like?
No,
it would
you know
be
what?
I'll
admit it. I opened it because I think I was going to write him. I was finally like, you know what? He's not active. I have to say something.
Did you draft a couple drafts?
No. Usually I do that. I mean, my notebook in my phone.
Have you ever slid?
No.
How would you slide?
I wouldn't do it. That's how I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
surprised.
I don't slide.
Okay.
I'm
Anyways,
really about like.
You
I
thought
don't-
about it.
So I was about to. I think I was gonna just say I don't know what I decided on, but I just opened it up. He had already written me months and months and months, 9 months before when I appeared on that show
Yeah,
that
you
I
went
thought
in the
he-
message to message, and there was a previous message.
there was a
from-
message request that I had never seen because when I did this show, I got a lot of messages because it was a high profile show. And it was buried within tons of these messages. I
which is
didn't
a
see the
total
blue check.
Great setup. Now you can write back without
I
the
wrote
pressure
back.
of sliding.
I wrote back and I said,
What did his message say?
it said,
Was he sliding, or was it like one of those? Well, clearly he was sliding.
Sliding.
But was it obvious, or was
okay, I'll read it to you.
Okay.
Okay. We wrote a lot. Finally caught up on the show. You crushed the roast.
Oh.
I was walking my dog and laughing like a lunatic. And then he makes a joke, looking forward to your sex tape with blah, blah, blah. It was a reference to my appearance. Just make sure you get it in before another reference to my appearance. You slay. You slay. And I go, is he gay?
Yeah,
Slay with an exclamation mark. You
not hot.
slay. But I'm not going to judge that. Who cares?
Being a little too critical.
So I, of course, I'm being too critical. But it was
a very sweet message.
I don't judge that stuff anymore. That used to like throw me off, and I'd be like, he said you slay. I can't be with him. Oh, come on, I'm 35. I can't write a guy off because he says you slay. So then I wrote, just saw this, and it made my day nearly 9 months later. He goes, happy it finally found its way to you, which
He sounds sweet.
I just left it. I didn't even like it. I didn't do anything. I was like, you got to ask me a question. If
You
we're
just
gonna
saw it. And
No,
let it-
she wanted him to engage.
I just let it sit. I just let it
He
sit.
didn't engage.
But he saw that you saw it, and you just.
I just let it sit.
Savage.
Why?
Go ahead.
I just need more effort. I'm sorry, gentlemen. So then cut to my second appearance on this show, which after that conversation, happy it finally found its way to you was July 23rd. September 27th, right after my last appearance on this show. Slay girl.
Slay. Back to the slay.
No.
Slay girl.
That's a little aggressive.
Again, finally getting through the week of the show. You're so fucking crack up, Miss Whole Package, because the person on the show kept being like, you're the total package. You're the whole package. You're the whole package. And he said, Miss Whole Package, winky face. So a definite slide, a definite, I'm referencing you being.
He likes you.
Yes. So I hearted that. And then he said then he followed up with a question about the show. And I said, yes. And then I answered him. And then we chatted some more. Finally, it switched to texting, and it just moved. He wanted to FaceTime. I wasn't ready for that. It was moving too quickly. He referenced like us like cuddling. It was just made me uncomfortable because I take
He
it so slow.
specifically referenced you two cuddling.
Yes, us two cuddling, and it got a little bit too schmoopy for me. You know, Seinfeld, you're schmoopy. No, you're schmoopy. And I was like, I'll get that way with a guy when I'm in love with them. I'll do baby talk. Like I fall in love, but he didn't know me. You don't know me. And maybe he felt like he knew me because he heard me on these shows.
Can you tell us exactly what he said?
It's so much, like we have so many texts, but it's like, he just, it was just like cheesy stuff about, I don't know.
I'm thinking about like when I message girls and I hear you two talk about, oh, well, he said slay. It's just like, just for that, we're cutting him out.
No, I'm not cutting him out.
And I'm just saying, I get
our
it.
boners
But then,
away.
and then the slay queen. Here's the thing. I'm thinking about that.
Emojis do take our boners
If
away.
if I read the slay queen, that seems to be aggressive. But I will like sarcastically sometimes. I think back. I hear my friends, like my female friends, or even my gay friends, will be like, "You go, queen," or whatever. And so sometimes sarcastically, I have like messaged that, being like, clearly they know I'm joking. But then I realize, if you don't know me, you might not know.
You might read it as like a very gay
literal,
man,
like,
Or like
oh.
a very like
a very gay man.
Like I would never say
Or a
you go
drag
queen,
queen.
but like I would,
I'm
like
sorry, that's how drag queens talk.
I send the girl emoji.
Yeah, that's cute.
But like even that,
It could be misinterpreted.
Should I not be using that if they don't know?
Listen, texting is very dangerous. I'm not.
Like I say,
here's to say, he said slay twice, and I still engaged with conversation with him. We switched over to texting. We texted all night one night where I was like, oh, I kind of like this guy. Then the next night he wanted to FaceTime. I wasn't ready because I was like, I had just put on night cream. I had like
Well, that's
zits on my
fair.
face. I didn't
But
want to
there's
do
nothing wrong with asking for the face.
No, there wasn't. And I was like, I really love that you wanted to. I'm just not in the mode
Okay,
to do it.
that's fair.
And I told him, I was like, it means so much to me that you like want to connect with me in that way. And then I just wasn't, the vibe wasn't there. He wasn't making me laugh as much in text. Like I didn't feel it. He's so hot. He also, I heard, texted with a friend of mine. And then when he finally was able to meet up with his friend after texting with her for months, he like ghosted her when he came to town. So I didn't like that story. And so anyway,
anyways, we before we started recording, we were talking about.
Before we get to that.
Okay.
Our last interaction before today.
Yes.
Was him saying, you're ghosting, pretty much calling me on ghosting.
Yeah.
And he asked me, how's the afterlife? Which I thought was funny.
That is funny.
And what did I say to that? Hold on. I'm not good. He goes, I'm off at 3:00. I'll be done around 3. I'm off to today, but I'll be done around 3:00 my time if you're free later. And then he wrote back 2 days later, she died that day. Because we were figuring out a time to FaceTime. I said, oh, yes, I did. And he goes, what's the afterlife like? And I never wrote back.
That's funny.
So then I see that he's watching my videos. I'm like, I'll just be like nice to this guy. I liked one of his posts the other day, or twice. I think I liked his post because he's still hot. I still like to see his face and his body. And he goes, and then he writes me today.
Wait, hold on. But then, before we got in the studio, we were talking about dumb hot guys. And Nikki goes, I've recently had an interaction with the most beautiful, dumbest hot guy of all time in your mind. We're not, this is
just, yes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And 4 minutes later, you got a text from said dumb hot guy.
It wasn't even 4 minutes, Nick, or it was like right away.
It was crazy.
It was wild. And I haven't.
So then he writes.
The last time we talked, that was on October 22nd. So this is like less than a month later. He goes, oof. Oh no, he goes, have we already defaulted to the Insta like / zero talking phase? With an emoji with like a
ears were ringing.
I know. And I just replied, yes.
Right away. Not even, she just, like, she sees it. I'm not even, that's even harsher.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even have to think about it. You were certain of your decision.
Well, let me just say that Nick goes, yeah, I was going to say, right, yes. And so I was like, okay, Nick Viall gives a relationship advice, and he's always so good at it. I'm going to trust him blindly.
Because it's honest.
So I said yes.
Which is fine. I think you don't want to meet him.
I don't.
So it was cold and it was harsh, but it was real.
Oof.
Oof.
This world we live in.
Yeah. No, you ruined his day, but it's fine.
So I wrote, as we're walking into studio, I'm like, I got to send off something to this guy before we go live, you know? I don't want to leave him hanging with the world we live in. He's going to go jump off a fucking bridge. So I go, I'm sorry. I'm emotionally unavailable and you seem great and it scares me. !
Oh no, you did that. It scares me move.
Because it does scare me when men are really like nice to me
that?
and really, no, I wrote that. I said, I'm sorry, I'm emotionally unavailable and you seem great and it scares me. It does. I am like, when guys are actually like me and are pursuing me, I tend to go like, no.
Sure.
And that's what I do. Okay. And he goes, I didn't ask for much. I get it. We're 3,000 miles apart. Don't put so much on it. And I'm like, all right. Well, then I'm out of the clear and his ego's a little bruised.
Everything's fine. This is a great breakup.
Great.
This is clean. It's fine.
Yeah, but is she saying that she's scared perpetuating that myth that people don't like?
I
mean,
scared.
Listen, yes, I can't get into as far as why
we
he did this
work out, but
or why whatever, but it sounds like for whatever reason she wasn't into it. She wasn't into it. Maybe she could go to like therapy and figure out why she didn't fuck the hot guy. I don't know. But you weren't into it.
Nope.
You didn't meet up with him.
Nope.
And finally you just said, listen, I'm not into it.
Yep.
And he wrote back something and you were probably fairly honest, even though it was kind of a joke about being emotionally unavailable.
It's not a joke. It's 100% true.
And
I wasn't trying to joke in that.
And he's right by saying, listen, I wasn't expecting much, but also he is now responding because his ego is definitely bruised and he was not. So, but it's fine. He'll move on. You're going to hear from him again, though.
Yeah? You think?
Yeah.
Oh
because he'll be bored.
He'll be bored. I know. Someday he'll be bored. He doesn't really like me. He's just bored. It's a really nice reminder that it's true. When a guy all of a sudden starts hitting you up.
You hear from a guy out of nowhere. He's bored.
Well, same for girls.
I know.
Yeah.
It's people.
Yep. It's true.
You start going through that Rolodex.
Yeah. Well, Nick, what's going on with you? Who are you dating?
No one really.
No one? You have like a stable of girls that will hook up. I call them a stable. I've been in a stable before.
Roster?
Yeah. A roster.
Did you know you were in a stable?
No, but you know what? Like,
I'm really
I
not.
should
I don't
have.
understand.
Well, you know that you're like a girl. Yes, I have actually knew with one guy I used to sleep with and like hook up with at that like late night. You just hook up after you've hung out with your real friends, and then you go sleep with this guy who has never met your friends and who you've never seen in the light of day. Yeah, that guy where you're like, you in the morning you go, do you remember where I parked my car? Like you're lost wandering around his neighborhood. That was me in 2008 living in Los Angeles, flirting with a DUI every night of my life.
Yep.
Glad I got out, glad I stopped drinking. But yeah, I've been in, I get the stable. I wish I could do a stable so bad.
I'm not saying I haven't at times had what seems like a
was the last time you had
small
sex?
rotation.
When was the last time you had sex?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks? Okay.
Yeah.
You're due.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
so 2 weeks.
But I'm not. I don't. That gets exhausting, and I don't really do that much anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a. I'm
Russian?
No, that, but I'm in a sure always. But I'm not dating. I feel like I need one of those. Like I don't believe in like saying I need to take a time out from dating. I'm still open. I still want
Sure.
to date, but like. I need to, sometimes you go through these periods of trying a little bit more or trying less. And I feel like I need to go through a try less period. I
am doing the same thing of like, yes, I'm going on a Raya date tonight, but I am not pursuing men anymore at all. And I was for a while. I just let one guy go that I had so much stake in, like all my eggs were in that basket, which I always know not to do. I mean, I'm 35. I've been through this a million times. If there's a guy that is so unavailable for all of these reasons and you're still like, you know what, he's gonna get it together, and you know that they don't. And but it fell through, and I was really like, I was probably sad about it for 5 minutes this time.
Good for you.
And because I didn't put all my eggs.
What's really interesting?
He was my best bet, but he failed. And then, hold on, I just want to just say, when those crushes go away, I hate not having a crush. I hate it.
Crushes are fun.
They're so fun.
I get concerned for myself because over the past year, even about the past year, there's been 2 women, and actually relatively at the same time, that I was crushing on them. And it's hard for me to crush in my life now.
Yeah.
I don't crush very easily or often, but these 2 women I did crush on. And
you are a player, you don't crush a lot.
Sure. And they were you could tell they weren't emotionally available. And ultimately, just kind of for fun, I kind of put it out there. I'm like, I'm kind of interested to see where this goes. Only of it to be like not reciprocated the way I had hoped. And I kind of knew it, I think, deep down. Only to fast forward, like these 2 women are still like periodically in my life at a
sleeping
distance.
Together.
No.
Were you sleeping together when you were like,
we were sleeping together. The other one we never slept together.
And they were both girls that at first you did not consider like girlfriend material. And
no,
you were
I'm saying there are women at first that, unlike most women I meet, I was like, they were age appropriate. It was just like, I find you really intriguing, and I'm open to considering this kind of thing. And so I decided to kind of put myself out there a little bit, only for it to kind of be rejected.
It's hurt
in a way. I kind of knew deep down, and I was a little bummed, but I get concerned for myself because I think my picker's way off. My point of saying this is fast forward like 5 or 6 months. These women are still periodic in my life. They'll check in. And nothing against them, but they're truly just messes. And like they've become friends, and they've put it out there that they want to like reconnect. And I'm kind of like, nah, I'm good. And it's not because like you hurt me. I just kind of see it a little more. And I'm just like, why am I chasing people like you? Like you're so
unavailable, so you don't have to commit to them.
You're a fucking mess, and like you're lovely and great, but like. Man, it's just like, what is my problem?
Nick, I look back on the ones that I like.
I saw one this Saturday, and I was just like, what the fuck, man? Like, you're cool, you're really interesting, but like, you're a fucking mess.
You saw me on Saturday.
It was before.
Talk about Nikki.
It was before.
Oh,
it was before.
Yeah.
Like, we grabbed dinner and it wasn't a date. Like, we catched up, but she was being super weird, and I was just like, I thought there was a time when I might have thought, fuck it, let's date.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, dude, like you asked me about an ex on Saturday night that I was like embarrassed to even admit that I had dated that person because they're such a mess. And they're so like, but you don't know. I mean,
they were the ones I was like, maybe I'll give it a shot,
What do you mean?
Well, those are the people like I haven't crushed
I don't crush it's hard for me. I get scared because like when I meet someone, I don't really feel anything. So
I
I'm
know,
like,
me
I don't know if I'm
too.
supposed to like you or whatever. But these two particular women, I was like, I'm intrigued. I don't know.
I know.
It felt like I was chasing like I was 22 again. And that was fun.
Yes.
I think,
It's exhilarating to have these crushes. And I just, even though I know these men are so bad, I liked a guy up until 2 weeks ago who is a guaranteed sex addict, like sleeps with a different woman every night. And I actually don't care because I'm kind of turned on by that. And so I don't want them to like give me diseases, but like you can still have your side pieces and like as I'm the main chick. I'm kind of okay with that. And it's not because I don't think I'm enough or whatever. I'm actually turned on by it. It's a long story. Dr. Drew thinks I have emotional issues. Sex addict, has a kid, never really asked me on a million dates, has flaked on all of them. And I'm like, I'm going to marry this guy. Like I was positive of it. And then last week I hung out with him and there was one moment where he just didn't even see if I had a drink. You know, I arrived at this bar and he wasn't even worried about me wasn't worried about where I was sitting. I sat next to him on this bench and there wasn't a lot of space for me. And it wasn't like, oh, he wants me to scoot close to him, so I have to like, it was just not, there was no awareness of me. And I just looked at him and I go, this guy does not give a fuck about me. And it was so clear and so freeing. And then I just relaxed and was like, I'm gonna go. And I took an Uber home and I was maybe sad for a minute. But then since then, I haven't looked at his Instagram. I don't care. And I was all about that dude. When someone just shows that they don't like you and they can't be there as like a partner, you just go, what was I thinking?
well, that or just like, I mean, for me, it was just
they're a
like,
mess.
or there's like a mess. Or it's just like, oh my God, you're just, yeah, but it's just like, I think back, I'm like, it makes me worry about myself. On that note, since we are obviously two people who have it all figured out, let's see if we can mess up someone's life. Better help. What can I say that I haven't already said? It's amazing.
Yep.
We all need it. Better help.
Yep.
I know I do. The stresses of mental health and in seeking out professional help can be exhausting in itself. BetterHelp makes it easy for you.
Yep.
I mean, right from your phone, you can talk to a professional. You can get access to people who can really help you out. You can get the right person dedicated to you without ever leaving your home.
Yep. It's affordable. You don't have to worry about going through insurance if you don't have it. You don't have to worry about finding the right person. They will match it up for you and make sure you have a great experience.
I told you guys not too long ago about my friend who was thinking about going to talk to a therapist. I told him about BetterHelp. They have since tried it. They loved it. They said it was super easy. They thanked me for recommending it. So you guys should give it a shot. Best of all, it's truly affordable. The Viall listeners get 10% off their first month with discount code VIALL. So why not get started today? Go to betterhelp.com/VIALL. Simply fill out a questionnaire to help you assess your needs and get matched with a counselor you'll love. That's betterhelp.com/VIALL.
Root Insurance.
Root Insurance. They are changing insurance. It's amazing.
If you're a good driver, you have to
This is
check
for
out.
you. If you've ever got insurance and you wondered why your rates were so high, even though you were fantastic at driving and you felt like you were judged for all the wrong reasons, like where you live, your age, things that seem to be so kind of
your profession,
general,
and
nothing to do with you.
Download the Root app now and take the Root test drive. Your smartphone, you drive around with it, and it can monitor the way you drive and let Root know that you're a great driver. If
you are willing to bet on yourself, Root Insurance is perfect for you.
They could save you up to 52%. That's what they saved people, up to 52% in 2019.
That's, for those of you bad at math, that's more than half.
Yeah, that's insane.
All you have to do is download the Root Insurance app, drive normally for 2 weeks during the Root test drive, and see how much you can save. Again, just bet on yourself, people. Don't wait and give Root a try today. Head to your app store and download the Root Insurance app and sign up in less than a minute to start your test drive today. That's ROOT. Again, download the Root app today or visit joinroot.com to learn more and see how much
you can save.
Root reserves the right to refuse to quote any individual a premium rate for the insurance advertised herein. Savings based on national reviews reported by actual customers. Form 1, not available in all states. This product is not available in California.
Quick reminder, guys, if you've been procrastinating on your gifts, I know Rochelle never does, but I do. Natural Habits Essential Oils, the daily bundle is a perfect, great gift. Stocking stuffer. Looks cute. It's great. Help your friend out. Give the gift of wellness. NHOils.com, 30% off, code HOLIDAY. Bam.
Question time with Nick. Let's ask Nick your sexy questions.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Hi. Good. How are you?
Great.
I'm Nikki Glaser.
Hi. I just watched your Netflix special.
Nice, girl. Thanks.
I'm a big fan.
Awesome.
This is not set up.
What do you want to know?
What's your name? How old are you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm Sydney. I'm 24.
Sydney, do you want to be anonymous? No.
No need. That's fine.
Great.
Yes. Put it all out there, girl.
Yeah. Put it out there.
Sydney, 24. How can we help?
So a little backstory. I have been dating my boyfriend for a little over a year now. About 8 months in, I realized it's a good relationship, but he's not the one. And I was kind of in the mindset of well, I enjoy hanging out with him. I'm originally from Minnesota. I moved to Hawaii. So I don't have family here. I don't have a lot of people here.
You're in Hawaii
and
now?
I was we like doing the same things, just hanging out. And I'm I'm not ready to get married right now anyways, so I'm just going to stick around kind of thing. He is in the military and he gets out next October. And so I was also thinking well, that'll be a natural end of our relationship, whatever. But now recently I've been thinking okay, this really isn't right. I feel like I'm making excuses. I'm wasting my time. But Christmas is coming up. It's my first Christmas not being able to go home back to Minnesota for Christmas. And he also goes home every year for Christmas, just randomly decided this year he wasn't going to go home either. And he hasn't said that it's because of me, but I'm sure it is.
Uh-huh.
And so I feel kind of guilty if I were to end the relationship before then, but I also feel like I'm just making more excuses to drag it on. So
Yeah.
I guess I just need a objective opinion of what I should do.
Yeah, you should definitely break up with him. I she says home from Minnesota.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah, listen, I think you seem pretty clear what you want to do. I don't think you have a lot of questions in terms of you trust your gut. Your gut's telling you he's not your guy. That can be scary. And especially, did you move to Hawaii for him?
No, I met him once I was here.
Okay. But he's probably, you've probably spent the most time with him since you've been in Hawaii. So you have an attachment there. The holidays are tough. I mean, yeah, there's no good time. Breakups in general suck, right? There's no good time in terms of what's the best time to break up with someone? Does it suck that
There's always going to be a thing. Oh,
Yes.
Valentine's Day is coming. His birthday's coming.
There's
His mom's, bar mitzvah. Well, that's not a thing, but you know what I'm saying.
And here's the thing. It's you're trying to figure out what's better. Do I break it? He's going to come home for the holidays and I think he's going to come home for me. So is that mean? So should I just stick it out? Personally, that's inconvenient and that sucks, but I think it's actually shitty to waste each other's time and spend a holiday with him and under false pretenses and kind of pretend to be into him, make new memories potentially only because you felt bad for the holidays. It's almost like you're using someone for a companion. I mean, it sucks. Yeah, he might have a bad Christmas, but at least he's not going to feel used.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, marry him. Stat. Just kidding. This guy, here's the deal, girl. You got to break it off as soon as possible. He can still get tickets home. It is his decision whether he goes home for the holidays. You do not affect that. And yes, he is going to stay there for you, but he has friends in Hawaii too. He's from there. He can have a good holiday without you. You are not responsible for his decision to not go home for the holidays. He made that choice on his own. And it is not up to you to try to appease him and make his holiday happy. You're just going to be putting off more pain later. So just do the hard thing, which is break up with this guy. And he can still go on kayak and get a great rate home for the holidays.
Yeah. And keep in mind,
it's still early enough.
My guess is I
haven't bought my ticket home.
It's not Christmas yet at all. And well, I'm sure you feel bad. There's probably a part of you that won't admit it, but there's a part of you like, well, I don't want to be alone for Christmas. So like, maybe I like him, you know, like you don't want to admit that, but there's definitely a human element of like, you're kind of using him because you don't want to be alone. So just be real about that, because
do something nice for yourself.
Yeah. Definitely don't wait till like he's out of the military to break up, you know, like get it. You guys are both young. You don't have time to waste. These are valuable years of your life to not spend with someone deep down in your gut you feel like is not your person. And that's okay. I'm sure he's fine. Let him.
And if you break up with him now, he might like really fight for you, and then you'll feel really good about staying with him. This might bring up some stuff like maybe trying to break up with him will make you have some real talk that will make you realize you do love him. And then if you're meant to be, you'll work it out.
Probably not.
If you're meant to be.
I don't think you should think like that.
But I'm just saying, if he wants to fucking win you over, he'll find a way.
Just out of curiosity, for argument's sake, why don't you feel like he's your guy?
We're very opposite, which is fine, but it kind of brings up a lot of arguments. And then I also just feel like it's kind of a surface level relationship, and I thought that maybe like if I gave it more time, it would change, and it just
hasn't deepened.
Yeah, so this isn't a matter of her not feeling valued or wanted in her relationship.
No, I'm saying
she's just like, I don't really
But the conversation might get deeper of like, what are we doing? Who are you? Who am I? And then you might crack something open if it's very surfacey, because under duress, sometimes you just go, okay, what do you want? Like, I don't know. I have a feeling it won't last longer but it might be a good little holiday resurgence to your romance, and then you'll break up by Valentine's Day.
I definitely think you should break up with him ASAP.
Yes.
Give him a chance to alter his plans if he was ultimately just coming home for you, because there's probably a part of him that senses you're being distant.
Yes.
You probably...
Yes, and that's why he's like, oh,
and he's like, oh, you know what? I'll just go home and salvage this relationship. He probably feels it. He
hasn't seen as many tit pics.
He's like convinced that he's just doing it. So give him an opportunity to leave, and really trust your gut here, because you seem really certain that you don't want to be with him, and that's okay. I get what Nikki's saying. Don't let him convince you to stick in a relationship because you're alone in Hawaii.
Being alone in Hawaii sounds amazing.
Yeah,
people
like,
do that
worse
to get away. Like that would be what I would do after a breakup. Right. Is go to be alone in Hawaii. So you're living already where most people flee to.
And there's no other guy in the picture or anything. You just realize he's not.
No.
Yeah.
He might resent you more
really
after Christmas too, because you're like, we just spent such like a special time together.
Let's say the alternative, you stuck with him through the holidays and then you broke up with him, and he's like, well, how long have you been feeling this way?
Yeah.
And you like threw an argument. It's like, I don't know, since November. Like, well, wait, why'd you just? Well, I felt bad. Like, no guy's gonna want to hear you stuck with me through Christmas because they felt because of your pity. Yeah. No one wants your pity.
Yeah.
So, and again, I do think if you do it now, he has enough of weeks to alter his plans. And if there's a good chance he is doing this because he senses you pulling away, and he's trying to fight for you in this way.
Good luck.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Happy holidays. You're gonna be great. Trust your gut. Follow your gut.
Yeah, keep us updated, Sydney.
I once broke up with a guy on Black Friday, and his friend said to him later on, we became friends, and he goes, when you broke up with me on Black Friday, Keith said to me, she wanted to break up with you before Thanksgiving. He was like, and he nailed it. I'm like, oh God, I did wait because I didn't want to ruin his little turkey dinner. I wanted him to have
whenever
appetite.
You get dumped, that wasn't the day they woke up and thought, I need to end it.
No,
I can't. They've thought about this. They've pined over it. How do I do this? Should I do this?
You spent a lot of time with a person who hated you for several weeks as they built a case.
Yeah.
And the courage.
So
it takes courage to break up with someone. It's not easy.
So just know that. But thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Yeah. I do think, and that's what, when we say we want to break up, when people think of reasons, and we've talked about this before, like, I feel bad. No, you don't really feel bad. You just don't want to feel guilty.
Yeah. You're trying to like save someone else from hurt, and you can't really That's not your job. Just do what you can control. And don't try to please other people. That's been the worst, is like, I've been in relationships where I was just like pretending to be the version of this person I thought this guy would love. And I still struggle with that. I still try to like,
I find that women do that more than men.
it's really gross. And when you're just sitting there and you're being like, I don't even like this movie, or like whatever. It was such a thing I did in my 20s, and I can't do it anymore. And it's almost to my detriment. But like, it's just, I have a Raya date tonight.
Are you excited?
No, I'm dreading it so much. So much. I hate dates so much.
I think it has a shot to be good then.
Really?
I mean, you're dreading it. You're not looking forward to it.
I
so all it
would
can
rather
be
do
is
anything else.
All it can do is meet your expectations,
Oh, that's a
or
good point.
be better.
Oh, that's so good. That's a great way to look at it. Oh no, don't get me excited about this now.
No, I don't think you should be excited. And
No, I'm dreading
it will
it.
probably be as expected.
Yes.
But if it is, then all it is
It can only go up from there.
How's it going, Liz?
It's going well. It's going well, thanks.
How old are you?
Well, do you want me to dive right in?
Yeah, I just want to know how old you are first.
That's rude.
That's how we start the show.
34.
Oh, okay.
It's
well,
like,
then that's
hi,
not
I'm
rude.
Liz. I'm 34.
Some girls don't want to say what their age is.
She's anonymous.
I love when women do, though.
And
you're 34, so
I think
who cares?
all these questions, age is totally important.
It's important. You're right. Okay. Liz, 34.
All right. Hi, I'm Liz. I'm 34. And my question revolves around my husband and a small dog whom he loves very much.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people are just obsessed with their pets. And so I think that someone else might be able to relate to this. But long story short, when my husband and I got together about 6 years ago, we spent a lot of time at my place. I knew he had a dog that he loved to death, which I thought was adorable at the time. But we just didn't really spend a lot of time at his place. So when we moved in together, I started to realize that he has the dog sleep with him in the bed. And for me personally, that's just not my jam. I'm not a big fan of having animals in the bed. The hair, like the possible feces, like the fleas, I don't know. It grosses me out. So
you're like, it's fair to say that you're like the opposite. Like you're fine with pets, but yeah, you don't mind your distance from a furry creature.
Just not in the bed. Like I'm cool with snuggling on the couch. I volunteered at an animal shelter.
Gotcha,
okay. I love animals, but it's just, I don't know, the hair and everything. I can't do it. But it is a dog that he's had for years, since the dog was a puppy. So I brought it up to him at the time. And I said, maybe we could have the dog sleep outside. And there were just all these reasons why it was not going to work. And the dog was, barking and crying. And he's an old man. And there were just so many things that made me feel like a doggy step monster. I couldn't do it. I felt so bad. So I kind of just caved into that at the time. But as time has gone on, it's affected, I'm starting to kind of emotionally build up a little bit of resentment, feeling like he chose the dog over me and had some discomfort, when I was multiple things like that. And I don't want it to continue to build, but I am feeling now that the dog's even older, it's just gross for me to even,
but you're married now.
Yeah, we are married.
How long you guys been together?
You have a 2-year-old.
We do.
So how many years has this been going on for, from the time in which you've been sleeping with the dog for 6 years?
Or no, they've been together for 6 years. You moved in together when?
We moved in together about 1.5 years into our relationship.
So 5 years.
How old is the dog now?
Yeah.
Let's just get to it. Let's just keep it real here. How many
more years you got sleeping with this dog?
What kind of dog? He's adorable.
Yeah, that thing's gonna last.
He's gonna
another
live forever.
20 years.
By the way, that's like
the small ones. It's a small Chihuahua,
like a half Chihuahua.
Yeah.
They'll live forever.
Oh, and that thing looks like it's 100 already. That means it's 3.
It's a good looking dog.
Yeah, you got a long time with that dog. It's small, which is a good thing.
Right.
It's the best case scenario.
Recently, you've broached the subject with your husband, and he's just like, nah.
No, she hasn't recently.
No, it frustrates him because I think he likes to find solutions when we have issues and we bring them up, like if there's no solution or if he doesn't feel like there's a solution, he just doesn't want to talk about it. Stop bringing, like, get over it, basically, because I mean, seriously, what are we going to do? This little dog is ancient and he's very attached, and I do feel bad. I mean, so it's kind of, I'm torn, really.
It's interesting because, like, I see both sides. I'm more like you, where I like pets just fine, but I don't want one in my bed. You know, that would get frustrating. While it's not me, I know plenty of people who are into that. I feel like in a relationship, I don't know, Ty goes to the person who doesn't want the pet in the bed, but you kind of went along with it to appease them, and it's kind of like you kind of created the monster.
Made your bed,
you literally made your bed, and now you have to sleep in it. There was a dog in it, and there's a dog in it. And it's a harder argument for you to win now. But I don't think it's unless there's deeper issues that you aren't sharing. Like, feeling like he picked the dog over you is probably not. You probably don't have to feel that way, because, like, he's just a guy who loves his dog, and that's not abnormal. This is not like your husband's a freak dog lover. Like, this is a pretty common thing for people who love their dogs. Unless you feel like this is just unless there's other things going on where he makes you feel this way, and this dog has become like the thing you kind of make excuses for, like, are there other situations where you feel like at the end of the day you express that you want, and your husband either like, does your husband, every time you have a problem, does your husband try to find a solution to appease you, and then if that solution doesn't work, he just dismisses what you want? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's really interesting. There were other things, especially in the beginning of our relationship, along with the dog, maybe that kind of, the dog has been the surviving catalyst of those issues, in which he would kind of put other things before me to keep the peace with other family members, or, those, I feel he's grown, but I think you made a really good point that, if he doesn't see a solution to a problem and it keeps coming up again and again, he just gets frustrated and doesn't want to address it or talk.
Can I ask you a question? Can you
it becomes the dog in the room.
Can you give me an example of a time that you guys disagreed on something? He tried to find a solution, he couldn't, and then he just said, "You know what, babe, this is important to you, so that's what we'll do."
I was prepared for examples that went the opposite direction, but actually, so it took a matter of years, but in the beginning of our relationship, we did have one of my in-laws living with us.
Okay.
And it was very difficult for me, but after about 4 years, we finally got to the point where we parted ways with that person. And it was, a lot of it was because I just said, look, this isn't healthy for our relationship to live with this person. So, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, he clearly is willing to do
after years.
Listen, an in-law situation can be real sticky, right? So he still did it, but yes, I mean, my guess is the dog alone is not reason to think that he doesn't put your needs before the dog. But there could be an an overlying theme here that sometimes you just want to be with someone who you just say, "Hey, listen, I'm calling in a favor. This is important to me." And they go, "All right, fine," and it's kind of a balance, but.
Yeah, good job on that. You're good at this. I was gonna say, like,
what?
I don't know. I just go to couples counseling. Like, you need a mediator, because it seems like you're this. Are you guys talking about this issue on the regular? You're just building resentment for him.
Well, it makes her not want to have sex because she doesn't want to, like, be
with the dogs there when you guys are hooking up.
I have to push through every time. It's a huge turn off for me.
Yeah. There you can lead with that. You can lead with that. I'm not turned on by you when there's a dog in the room. I don't enjoy sex as much. I don't want to touch you as much. I don't feel close to you. The dog is keeping me from feeling intimate with my own husband. And I want to maybe bring a specialist into the home to figure out a way that the dog can be in the room with us and maybe not on the bed, because I just feel like the bed should be about you and me sexy times.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I feel like maybe you should kind of think about this for a while, but it might be like something you want to express to your husband where it's just like, listen, I just want to once in a while be able to ask you a favor and tell you what I want and just have you simply say, okay, babe. Like, I don't want everything to be a negotiation or you problem solving. I'm just telling you, this is important to me. I don't need you to agree with me. You don't even have to like it. I just want you to do it for me. Can you give me examples of things that he likes that you just agreed to do because he likes?
Blowjobs.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if a simple example would be just revolving around food, going to Chipotle every day.
I'm getting I'm getting an impression. I get an impression that you
preach.
You do a lot for him simply because he likes it, and you don't feel like he's reciprocating.
Yeah,
that. And
not even.
And I think you feel like deep down, like the only time you get away, you have to fight and scratch and claw to finally be like
literally
him to give in. Yeah.
Problem solve.
And problem solve. And you're just like, fine, I'll go to Chipotle. It's fine. I'll manage. And I think you just want some reciprocity in that. And I think you need to express that to him. And maybe that might require some couples therapy.
And why don't you just get a cat? And you say, I want this cat in the bed with me, and then have them fight to the death.
Nikki plays dirty.
You win.
That's
whatever
an option. I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna like solve your problem.
No, this is great advice. And girl, I feel you. It's like when you just like take so much and you build so much resentment because you're like, we always go to Chipotle. He never even cares what I want. But the thing is, you haven't said what you want in so long, and he thinks you like Chipotle. He doesn't. Men don't even think about our needs as much as we think about our needs, and they really shouldn't. You need to make your needs. You need to be a squeaky wheel to get the oil. They're not gonna think about it.
That's really helpful too, because in fairness to your husband, like all guys have that problem solver thing, and human nature, you give someone an inch, they'll take a foot, like I don't think he realizes maybe just how selfish he's been. I don't think he even tries to be.
They don't realize.
But you've been like so willing to be accommodating, and all he is thinking is like, you're not communicating on the same page. He's just thinking, what's the big deal? It's my dog. I love him. I don't think he appreciates that you feel the way you do. Right. And I think you need to try to express that to him. And it's just about like not having to fight for every little thing that you want. Like you just want to get your way once in a while without like having to be so understanding,
I think you should read that Why Men Love Bitches book. And I know you're already married and it's a book about like getting a man, but I think it might just empower you to because that book's more about just being a woman who knows what she wants and having self-respect and having a guy honor that and want to honor that because he sees you're a woman of virtue who knows what she wants. And it might help you to like harness this energy to like kind of change the vibe with you and your husband. And it might end up that he's super turned on by it and like wants you to stand up for yourself. Because so many of the times I think I like just wanted to make guys happy so that they wouldn't be mad at me. And I think that over time they started kind of like testing me where I'd be like in ways where it's like, are you going to be a doormat right now? Oh, you're going to be a doormat again? And then they just fucking don't even respect you. And then they're just mean. And I'm not saying that's just been my
extreme version.
That's the extreme version when they get
even
even
in healthy relationships, you see a little bit of that too.
Yeah,
and it's just like, if you keep getting your way, you get used to getting your way, and then you become like he's going to be a baby early on in this. When you try to rectify this, he's gonna throw a little bit of a temper tantrum. And I honestly think this could require some sort of like, this is a communication issue. Like you guys are not communicating and you think you are. Like he thinks he's doing something, you know what I'm saying? But you guys are like, you're here, he's there, and you feel like you're on the same page, but you're not.
It's funny he keeps saying there's no solution, where the solution is the dog's not in the bed anymore.
He's not seeing that. But again, he's just so used to, he is not used to in any way just saying, you know what, babe, you want this. Like, you should want to be in a relationship that once in a while you just say, this is what they want, and I don't need to understand it.
Yes.
So
that's why when guys are like, I don't eat pussy because it's just like not my thing. I'm like, yeah, I don't want it. I don't need it to be your thing. Do what I want.
Right.
You think I suck dick for the taste of it? Get down there.
This is a
I don't
prefix
understand
menu.
why. Yeah. Yeah, it's pre-fee tonight. Yeah. So like I don't understand
what's
this
on the menu. Food, dick, pussy, whatever I
don't care if I don't like the taste of it. It's pussy. Doesn't actually taste good. You should want to bring me pleasure. I don't care if you don't like it. Do it.
Yeah. Hopefully this was helpful. Not
Thanks
about
for
the
calling
dog.
in.
That much we know.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thanks, Liz.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem. I found
You eat pussy?
love.
Good for you.
Truly.
Do you hear that? Every girl that's listening, do you suck dick more than you get eaten out? I would venture to guess that it's a yes.
I have
dick
found-
sucking and pussy eating are not they're not reciprocated in the same way. Girls, I have a new thing. If you suck his dick, he's got to eat your pussy, and vice versa. It has to be even. I'm tired of this.
I agree, and I have found that I think it starts at an earlier age. I was talking about this with a friend. We've talked about this on the podcast too. Porn, obviously. I think more and more porn's more accessible.
Yes.
Now, and I think it's always been the case, but more than ever before, younger people are learning how to have sex through porn.
Yeah.
Guys and women. And they both feel, and porn is based off of getting a guy off. So,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of women
porn I watch.
are like, they feel like they don't want to put a guy, they don't want to like inconvenience them.
Yeah.
They don't know if they
They
like
wanna let the
them.
dog sleep in the bed.
They don't feel good about it. So they're like, it's fine. And I think they don't even I've had women say, look, I don't really like that. And then I, through conversation, found out they don't know that they don't like it. They just, it's fine. It's fine. I
don't want to make him do anything he doesn't want to do.
And I don't want to, it's just like, why don't you just sit back and just put on a movie you enjoy, just kick back and I'll take it from here.
Oh my God. Did you hear that, ladies? That's what we deserve. I love that. We do feel like we're inconveniencing you by asking for you to go down on us when we suck dick all the time. Like, it's a prerequisite as a woman to suck dick. Whereas men, there's some men that just truly do not do it, and it's not okay. And I love what you said about that. Also, I think a lot of women don't want guys down there because they're like embarrassed about their vaginas. Girls are just like, I'd rather he just touch it. I don't want him like face to face with it. Then he's just gonna see it for what it is, and it's disgusting. And it's like,
just have pretty good hygiene.
Yes, that's all. Just clean it and let them down there, and they'll love it, girls. And sometimes you don't even need to clean it. They're fucking sick guys out there.
But ideally.
I mean, yeah, I always clean, but I know that there are some guys that like wouldn't care. Like, they're so gross.
Well, I will say, like, it's like after like, I've been working all day. It's like, it's fine. How's it going?
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm 26 years old.
Hi, Sarah, 26. How can we help?
So here is my situation. About a year ago, we got a new boss. I've always gotten along really well with my bosses, but this was my first boss that was an attractive male that was my age. So it was our first time being in that situation. We hit it off.
Me too. That's why I picked it.
All right, hot boss your age. Sorry, we got distracted. We're all kind of masturbating.
We all just got really
She's
horny.
married though.
Oh, you're married.
Yeah, we both are married, but we hit it off right away, and we became really quick friends. And I thought that that's kind of that we both were in that place where we understood that we were friends.
Uh-huh.
And suddenly he started sending me like long complimentary texts, like on a daily basis, like pages long, complimenting my work ethic. So it was work related, but suddenly it started shifting to more personal things. Fast forward now, a year later, I'm in a new job, and he continues to text me all the time. I kind of thought the communication would fizzle out, and it hasn't. So I'm just curious if I am doing anything wrong by continuing the friendship when it seems kind of obvious that I think there might be something else there on his end. My husband knows and totally doesn't care because he trusts me, which is great.
What does your husband know?
All of this.
Like, what exactly does your husband know? Does he know this guy's exist? This guy?
I've sent my husband screen grabs of some of the very overly complimentary texts, and he just laughs. He thinks that it's funny.
Have you ever said anything appropriate to him? Because I get you like
inappropriate.
Yeah. Have you ever said anything to this guy that made you feel guilty?
No, no. I told him that he's a great boss, and now that I'm in a new job, I told him, my new boss is great, but obviously I miss having you as a boss, but nothing inappropriate or flirty.
Yeah.
So other than like when you first started working there, you thought he was hot, which is a totally human
reaction, but you never felt like you were emotionally fantasizing about this guy. It's like you never felt guilty, that you just acknowledged that he was hot.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. And I told my husband that too, because we have that understanding. We are very realistic that we know that we're going to think other people are super hot.
Love it.
And so I told him, and I was like, that we get along great. And I thought that we were great friends, but I just can't tell if we're, if I am leading him on by continuing to talk to him.
Interesting. Well, I don't think it's your job to figure out whether you're leading someone or not. I mean, like you can only do what you do, and right? Like people know, like when you're being manipulative or not. You know when you're saying things to get a reaction because you're bored or not, or lonely. You just want someone to give you the attention you're not getting elsewhere. People, when you're doing that. We all know. We can pretend we don't know, but I'm sensing like and this question is about like you seem like a good person who's doesn't want to be a dick, and all things being equal, like you like this guy that is a friend and it's fine. But I guess what I'm saying is, if you feel like it's inappropriate at all, I think what value is he bringing in your life as a friend? Like, do you really need him as a friend? Because I wouldn't worry about him.
He's got a great perspective on things, but I don't need him in my life as a friend.
I just think like the fact that you don't know what his intentions are, and like you don't need him as a friend. You have your husband, you have other friends, I'm assuming. Like, yeah, if this guy was like more of a casual, if you never got an inappropriate vibe from him, that would be fine. But your gut's telling you that there's something off there, and out of respect for his wife, or the fact that like it could get messy, like I don't think you should be in a marriage or in any relationship and to the point where like you're kind of trying to cover your tracks. Not that you're doing anything wrong, but like you have a good relationship with your husband. You're like, hey, just so you know, like here are some screen grabs. I'm not doing anything wrong, but this guy keeps reaching out. You have the control not to respond. Like, you don't need to respond. You don't even work for him anymore. And like, while it might seem like, oh, it's a bitchy thing to do, like in the big picture, it seems to be the right thing to do and the cleanest thing to do, because like there's no upside. Like, what's the upside of continuing to talk to him? Like, you kind of have a friend that you don't really need. The downside is you could be the other woman. Like, what if his wife finds these texts? Right. And then she doesn't really know who you are. And all of a sudden she gets all these ideas. It becomes this very dramatic thing. And even though you're not doing anything wrong, you could be part of a story that you don't want to be a part of.
Mm-hmm. Great point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta I would ghost him, honestly. If you're not gonna see this guy, just stop. And you're gonna get flooded with like, I thought we were friends. This is really disappointing. Yeah. You're gonna get all of that stuff from him. I really felt connected to you. I never said anything inappropriate. Like, he'll take it a million places, and you'll see him fucking spiral, and you'll want to get the hell away from it, which you already should. Yeah. I mean, he's being inappropriate. I would just block. Not block, but I would just stop responding.
If you want to, like, I think you knew whatever you want. You could block them, whatever. The safest way, just kind of let it fizzle. Just kind of don't respond.
Ghosting.
One word answers.
Yeah, ghost him. Yeah. I don't really respond. I mean, again, you don't work for him. If he like pressures you for a respond, like, oh, I'm sorry, I've just been busy. But don't like just send that and don't follow up. Don't make any more of an excuse. And then like, don't respond again. You're still actually busy, in a sense. So like,
who is it that says, I would like to excuse myself from this narrative, where you just, you're not part of the story anymore?
Just like remove yourself. I mean, you really got to trust your gut here. This is like a case of upside downside. There is literally no upside here with a lot of potential downside. So his feelings about not wanting to hurt it, like, he'll be fine.
Yeah, and you still have like these, like, he's still your kind of boss to you. You can't get that. He's not anymore. You don't owe this man literally anything.
Yeah. Yeah, don't be rude. Like, just let it fizzle. That's why I wouldn't block him, because you never know. Like, you don't want him to leave angry. He'll be angry in the short term, but like
old cold-hearted snake over here. I'm not good at this.
I'm fine
you're right.
with block, but in this situation, just in case, like, she could come back around and they work in the same industry, and maybe like you guys could.
Yes.
He could want to be a reference.
Agreed.
You don't want him to feel like you ended it. You just want him to realize, you know what? Maybe I took it too far. Like, that way, hopefully he has an opportunity to be like, I probably shouldn't have sent that. Don't make him feel like he did something wrong. Like, it's not, again, that's not your problem. Just slowly go away.
Yes.
Yeah. we have a lot of interest. Like, we like to talk about interesting things. We both love to debate, which I think is what kind of made us hit it off in the beginning. So maybe if I just make myself less interesting, be a little boring to talk to.
I think you should not. I think you should stop talking.
Don't talk to him. Delete
you don't
his number.
need this friend. You can find other people to debate with. Join a debate team.
Don't slowly, like, you need to, like, that's the thing. You need to stop being his friend. You need to stop doing all the things, not slowly, but at once. Stop doing anything he enjoys. Like, he has a wife. I mean, he probably has other friends. You feel like there's something going wrong because in your gut, something's telling you is off, and you need to trust that. And like, you need to cut that cold turkey.
I was in this situation. I deleted him from my phone so that I didn't have any desire to text him.
I
if
think
he texted
great.
me, I'd respond
You don't
professionally.
recognize the number.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can mute it. Do all these things to help you not feel bad, but like, don't kind of talk to him. I don't think you don't feel bad at all. But, you know, at this point, again, you've asked the question, you've gotten the advice, but just make sure, like, if you really want to do the right thing, you need to really do it and cut him out. Because I'm sure you enjoy his friendship. He's a good guy, but he's not actually adding value to your life.
Good. He sounds like he's emotionally cheating on his wife.
No. I think that's solid advice. My husband, because he was the only other person I've gone to for advice, kind of went with the, well, if he doesn't express that he has feelings for you, then, you know, why does it matter? Don't do anything.
It's a waste of your time texting with this guy.
Something feels off to you.
Your gut.
Yeah, like you got something feels off. And again, like
this isn't
like your lifelong friend you're talking about. This isn't some guy you've been like best friends and you like finally he's just a guy you've known for a little bit of time and you had somewhat of a connection and maybe a different life. You would have been friends or maybe even hooked up, but you are, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just a guy who's a small phase in your life. He's just some guy. And you can probably connect with, if you were single, you would connect with a bunch of some guys. You know, this is not, no one you need to keep in your life.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was leaning towards, but I wanted to see if you guys agreed more with my point of view or my husband. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, again, your husband too, like your husband's saying this because he wants to make sure, like, well, I have nothing to worry about.
Yep.
You know, so he's kind of saying this because he wants to believe and say out loud that my wife would never cheat on me, and you probably wouldn't, but like, that's not the point. The point is you don't know what's going on his other side, and you need to remove yourself from potentially a toxic situation.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling. All right. Take care.
Bye.
Nikki, this has been a ton of fun.
Fun.
What have we learned? We learned, I will say, whenever you feel resentment over something that seems silly, there's a bigger issue.
Oh, the dog thing.
The dog thing, right? Like, anytime you're like, why do I resent him for something that he or she does that seems so dumb.
It's hysterical, it's historical.
Ooh.
Always remember that. If you are freaking out about something, it's because something in your past is triggering it.
Yeah.
It's like it's pent up from something else. But definitely like if it's that's a saying that I like use a lot. If it's hysterical, it's historical.
Yeah, it's something I feel so dumb. Like, there's something else there, either from your past deeper in a relationship you need to handle, or even in that relationship where, like, it's not so much the dog, it's just like, this happens with everything. It's not the dog. And
that was really good.
That's the one thing you can pinpoint.
Before we go, I heard you're talking a lot about Nick in your comedy.
Yeah. I would say, I think I said to you guys, 4 out of 7 times I'm on stage, I say Nick Viall's name.
I got a text from a friend who was at one of your shows.
I'm surprised you haven't gotten texted way more. I thought you had way more friends than you do. Or I thought people would tweet you at least and be like, Nikki Glaser's talking about you. Because people always message me whenever you talk about me.
Oh.
Your fans rat you out. Mine are true to me. They know that what stays here doesn't leave here. No,
maybe.
No, they always tell me nice things you say, but I say nice things about you on stage. But it's very fun because I mean, like, do we even have time?
I want to know what you talk about.
Oh, I just say that, like, hot guys. I talk about how I love hot guys, and like I was like, the hottest guy slid into my DMs. I was like, I remember watching this. I was like, it's one of the Bachelors. I was like, I remember watching his seasons. He was on The Bachelor. He was on The Bachelorette, and he was on Bachelor in Paradise. And I was like, and I go, we're hanging out, and I'm like, am I gonna bang one of the guys from I go, when he DM'd me, I literally thought it was my Make-A-Wish being granted. I was like, what is happening right now? And it turns out he just wanted to start a podcast with me. And then I have a joke where I go, he was just like, Nikki, I really just like respect you comedically. And I'm like, but
I don't think I've ever said
I know, I'm
it in those words.
But I know you do. But
I do.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it that way.
You're an amalgamation of a lot of hot guys that I think I'm like gonna hook up with, and then they're like, I just want to like work on this project with you.
Right.
But which is like, it's very nice. I'm flattered. I know I'm funny, but I just want to know that they would fuck me.
Right.
That's I don't need to be told I'm funny. Like, you don't need to be told you're handsome. You want to hear you're funny. I am more insecure about being handsome.
Right.
So,
I want to know I'm hot.
Yeah. Okay, good. You are. You're so hot. And so I'll tell you it all day long for the rest of your lives together. So hot. But the joke is, I was like, he says, you know, I just respect you comedically, and I'm like, can't you also disrespect me sexually? And that's the joke. And then I say, and girls, and I was telling you guys this, but every time I say that it was one of the bachelors, girls are always like, help! Girls are just screaming, and I go, you calm down, you bitches. They get so riled up. No one ever heckles me except that point in my show. And I go, I'm gonna tell you who. You think I'm gonna leave you girls hanging? If you watch The Bachelor, you're gonna care. If you don't, you're not gonna know who this is, but you're gonna Google him later. And then at the very end, I go, because then I tell this whole story about how, like, you know, becoming kind of famous, you get to like suddenly have chances with guys that you used to watch on TV before you were famous.
Same with Nick had that experience.
Yeah. So
access, yeah.
Exactly. You get this access that you're like, I grew up watching that person. Like, not that I grew up watching Nick, but like I watched his seasons and was like on my couch. I remember I watched your seasons with my boyfriend at the time and was just like kind of like horny for you next to my, like he probably got laid because of you. And so many men in the country got laid because of you, because girls get horned up watching that show, watching you like touch someone's face and tell them you love them and like confess your love. And you're just like, why can't my boyfriend do that? And so I was like, so I explain who you are, like that kind of thing. I'm like, and I explained this whole, I kind of put you into the center of this fight that I had with my boyfriend. That wasn't about you, but it was about one time I saw a hot guy on TV and I accidentally gasped. And he heard me, and I didn't mean to. I just was like, I was like, and it could have been you. I mean, it was, I forget who it was, but I gasped.
We'll just, for fun, we'll just say it.
It was you. Well, I do say that on stage. I go, this guy took off his shirt on TV and I gasped, and my boyfriend at the time got so mad. I felt his energy like shift on the couch. Like he like turned and looked at me, and I had to pretend a spider was on me. I was like, oh, a spider, which made sense because cobwebs. And so then I built this whole thing about how you and I that we were hanging out, and I'm like, am I gonna bang? And then at the end I reveal you go, am I gonna bang Nick Viall from The Bachelor? And then the girls go, wow! And I'm like, I know. And people sometimes go, no, Nick. And I go, you don't even understand how hot he is. You think you'd be grateful for Nick Viall to even want to touch you. I was like, I get so mad at them, and it's just a really fun bit to do, but it's all based upon you.
I gotta go see that live. That sounds
and then and then they talked to me after the show about you, and there are people like, yeah, everyone's on your side. No one's really.
No, there's definitely. I mean, it's fine.
There was one time where they weren't.
80. Oh, they is it like a whole audience?
Well, I told you about that last time. It was like this Bachelor podcast I was doing, and I was talking about how hot you were, and they were like, of all the Bachelors you could sleep with. It was Arden Mirren's podcast. She did a live one, and I was like, Nick Viall. And this was long before I met you.
You said this on.
It was before I met you, and the girls were like, no, and I was like, oh really? Oh, you wouldn't? Like, just shut up, you bunch of Austin 7s. You would be grateful for this Milwaukee 10 to even grace your presence. So yeah, I go to bat for you.
Well,
and I go and I say, you know what? Then I kind of go into this thing about hot guys like are they're like stupid hot guys, and I go and I kind of lump you in with that, and then I go, actually, I just want to be honest. Nick is not stupid. He is funny. He is charming. He is handsome, and I'm only saying that because I still think I have a chance.
Oh my god,
no, but
That's
I
a
do
great
read all that
song.
stuff.
That's
But
a great
I
song.
like saving it with that.
Well, I love having you on. Come back anytime. What are we calling our listeners? Have we
the
decided?
Wi-Fi.
The
Vi-Fi.
Wi-Fis?
We voted on it.
Nikki helped with that.
Yes.
Royalties are
I'm a
heading
Wi-Fi
her way.
too.
The Wi-Fis are very defensive of me when people are critical.
Yeah.
Good. They should be. I will be too.
Sometimes I'm like, chill out. It's fine. I like them. We're having fun.
No, I always, because like for a while I was crushing on you so hard. And my friends were like, he's a dumb guy from The Bachelor. I go, no, you don't know him. He's actually really smart and interesting. And shut up about my crush. So, Wi-Fis are defensive for you.
Yeah.
I'm a Wi-Fi.
I'm a Wi-Fi.
All right, Nikki, I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thanks for listening, guys. Always sending your questions to asknick at what is it?
Asknick at castmedia.com.
Cast with a K. Don't forget to send us in your 5 stars. Thanks for listening. We will see you back on Wednesday.